What's good, Wizards fans? It's your host, the real Ed Oliver and Brandon Scott. The Washington Wizards beat the Blazers and get revenge in Portland, winning 126 to 101. The solid three looked like a big three tonight. Kyle Kuzma hitting a half-court shot. Bradley Beal dunking on Eubanks. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, Wizards fans? We just want to thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. First-time users can receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That's PrizePicks.com, promo code Locked On. All right, so the solid three, they look really good tonight. Bradley Beal dominated some parts of the game. Kyle Kuzma really took over in that first quarter and the second quarter. Porzingis had 11 points in the first quarter as well. Who out of the solid three impressed you the most, and what were some main reasons why you saw the Wizards win this game tonight?
Man, that's hard because I feel like all three of them played a piece. You know what I'm saying? Like Bradley Beal kind of let Kuz take charge. He got hot and he let him roll with it, man. And I like that. You look at the vision of some of these passes that Bradley Beal had tonight. And if you look at the dunks, man, I mean, like your Eubanks dunk, the dunk he had in. I'm looking at my notes, man, because he had a couple good ones, but definitely the one on Eubanks, man, come on. I mean, Bradley Beal looked good. You know, he looks healthy. You know, his jump shot looks more fluid. Now, I know he only shot 1 for 5 from 3, but if you look at his jumper, man, since he's came back from injury, he's got a higher trajectory, and you see more attempts and more makes from 3 from Bradley Beal coming back from the injury. KP, again, playing third fiddle, but 28 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 for 15. Got a little foul trouble, 5 fouls, but I mean, that's a tough one, man, because every member of the solid three, they played their part and they played well. They outstanding tonight. And this is what you want to see, man. This is the exciting part of this solid three. They play well together. They're exciting to watch. You know, this is a good win for us, especially as a revenge win, because I believe Blazers that game where we gave up the lead. So come in and get this win on the road right before the All-Star break. I think this is a really important win. I think the only negative, man, is none did contribute 10 points. And, we were talking about this before we started, man. Taj, he played good minutes tonight, but, Denny's obviously in a slump right now. DeLon, 4 steals. Now, DeLon defensively was all over the place tonight. I love what I saw from him. 5 points, but I want to see some more scoring off the bench. I kind of want to see a little more minutes. We touched base the last video, man. A little more minutes to Quentin Jackson, man. Try to get another score on his bench because it's going to happen. 1, maybe 2, maybe all 3 may struggle out of the solid 3. So we need the bench to kind of pick it up, man. And I know Denny's in a slump, and he has played better coming back, or not coming back, but since the trade of Rui Hachimura, but he is in a slump and has been struggling. But man, this solid 3, bro. Wow, they played well tonight, man. It's a good win. And it comes down to playing team basketball, man. Everybody's.
Oh yeah, they look like a big three tonight. They really did. They look like a legitimate big three. We saw how important Kyle Kuzma is to this team, man. They really missed him badly late last night against the Warriors. Hitting 6 threes. He had 4 threes in the first half. He started off 0 for 3. Then he went on a tear. Then he hit the half-court shot. He was getting to the basket, hitting threes. He was dominating. He was getting to the free throw line as well. Shot 6, only really 6 free throws. Didn't shoot much, but and he was rebounding tonight too. 33 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, and a block, plus 18. He really looked like a force out there, and that's what we needed from our small forward, somebody that can come in and score. We were really missing that against the Warriors last night. Porzingis, I think Kyle Kuzma, he really impressed me the most. Porzingis, and we talked about this last night, no Nurkic. They didn't really have any bigs. The only big they really had was Eubanks. They just didn't have any big depth at all. And I thought Porzingis took advantage of that, getting some free throw jumpers, getting to the basket, a couple of post-ups here and there, a couple of dunks. He had a nasty dunk on Eubanks as well. He had a couple of dunks. Monte Morris found him for some easy baskets. Bradley Beal found Kristaps for some easy baskets too. The ball movement was on the stream too. Everybody was eating tonight. Bradley Beal stepped up when we needed him. He had a quiet first half. Then he woke up in that second half. And then, Damian Lillard with the flagrant foul, that was a big swing. The Techs, those were big swings and momentum as well. Those put up a couple points on the board. Bradley Beal did miss a free throw, but Brad really dominated in that second half too. He had a couple really nice crisp passes he had one good pass to Gafford as well. So when they're healthy, man, and they're all playing together and playing with chemistry, the solid three, I mean, it's you really can almost call them a big three. I think when they're playing healthy, I think they can be a legitimate play-in, of course, and 8th seed, 7th seed kind of contender. I'll go that far. I would say 8th or 7th seed, not 7th, but probably the 8th right now, just the way the standings are right now. But yeah, they took advantage of this, and there were a couple opportunities where the Blazers were trying to come back. West, maybe he could have called a timeout here and there, but they were chipping away at the lead. But the Wizards, they weathered the storm. They weathered the storm this game, and the ball movement and just getting to the basket. They played zone a couple times. They gave us some threes to Cam Reddish. He hurt us, and Shaedon Sharpe had a couple big dunks. But other than that, and just cutting down on turnovers. And Kendrick Nunn, I thought he played a key part, because you talked about the bench too. He was one of the scorers. He was the only really main scorer off the bench with 10 points, but he had a couple big shots that helped keep the lead going. And DeLon Wright too. He had some timely steals, 4 steals. I mean, he's been our best defensive guard out there for sure. So just a good team all around win. And they took advantage of opportunities tonight. So they didn't lose the lead, which was huge. And the big three, man, they stepped up. The solid three, they really stepped up tonight.
Which one? Is it solid? Is it big?
I know it's tough. It's tough, man. I gotta see more to call them a big three. The way they play, they play like a big three tonight. They really did.
Yeah.
The way Bradley Beal played tonight, Kyle Kuzma dominated, man. And I know it's a contract year for him. When he plays like that, then yes, you can justify the contract. You can justify bringing him back. When he plays like that, you're going to get 30 points every night. But when he plays like that, when he dominates and he's hot like that, you can definitely see why Tommy Shepard wants to bring back Kyle Kuzma. So, yeah, it's still a solid three for me. I just want to see more. And they just got to stay healthy. And Bradley Beal, he got the tooth fixed.
Oh, I saw that. They said he was in the chair for like 2 hours, man.
Yeah, I heard.
God bless him, man. No, man, they're fun to watch. Everybody knows I was a proponent for rebuilding, but we know that's not going to happen. This is the product we have, and you know what? Look, they're fun to watch. They're fun to watch. They play well together. They're really fun to watch, and yes, you can justify giving him $20-25 million. I mean, John Collins got it, so, and I believe he's a better player than John Collins. So you can justify the bag, man. And KP, he's got to stay, man. I like this solid three. I'm with you. I think they're very fun to watch. And I'm a Wizards fan to the heart, man. Look, I just want them to win. If they look good right now, they're exciting. So yeah. So saying that and knowing how well they can play, if they're consistent going forward, this is my charge. Grab a 6 seed. I mean, look how easy the schedule is the second half, right? And look at how the dynamics of the Eastern Conference has changed. Look, Brooklyn ain't trying to win it all anymore. Kyrie's gone, KD's gone, James Harden been gone. So I mean, look, that's another team that's out. So I think that if we can play consistent, play team basketball, everybody eats. West can do his thing with rotations. Because big up to him. Look, a couple times you can say, yeah, he could have called a couple timeouts, but he did better with stemming that momentum from the Trailblazers. I believe it was at 13. We were up. They brought it down to 13, and he called a timeout. Boom. Because a couple of games ago, look, he would have kept it rolling, and we would have brought it down to 10, 7. So, big ups to him. He's learning. He's really getting better with that. But that's my charge with this team, man. Try to grab a 6 and really, really try to really ebb a lot of these hesitant fans, man, because they're fun to watch. But I think what we all want to see is I want to see some playoff success because they play well. So, if you really want to ebb a lot of these guys and a lot of these fans, man, that are kind of skeptical, try to get this momentum going in the second half, and let's try to get the 6th seed. So that's, in my opinion, I think that should be the goal.
Definitely, yeah. We're going to get to some more numbers about the game and player of the game. But before we do get to that, today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Tonight, I'm taking PrizePicks is super easy. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go score more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. I did pick Kristaps Porzingis to go over tonight on his points, so I did hit on that. But I did pick Anthony Simons to go over on his points, so I missed on that. But it was very close. Anthony Simons, unfortunately, did have an ankle injury. He was very close to getting over. I want to say it was like 21 and a half points or 20 and a half points. He ended with 17. And Kristaps had another great game tonight. No competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. PrizePicks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PGA, and more sports. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy, safe, and fast withdrawals. Currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the PrizePicks apps or go to PrizePicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code Locked On and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. All right, so just looking at some numbers for the game tonight, I thought they did a good job of protecting the paint. We actually didn't give up a whole bunch of points in the paint. They don't really have any bigs to get into the paint. You know, Jeremy Grant was out tonight. He had a concussion. So I'm not going to take anything away from the Wizards in this win. Like I said, I know Nurkic was out. Jeremy Grant was out. So the Wizards took advantage of that. And we've seen the Wizards lose games to teams that have missed their starters and stars. So they did a great job protecting the paint. So I got to give the Wizards credit for that. They did force the Blazers to settle for threes. The Blazers struggled from the three-point line tonight, 12 for 42, 28%. And I'm not going to say they did a great job on Damian Lillard, but they did make it tough for him. Dame, he had almost 40 points, 39 points. But if you look at the shooting from the three-point line, he was 5 for 17 from the three-point line. So he did struggle tonight from the three. And as a whole, the Blazers struggled tonight from the three-point line, shooting 12 for 42. The Wizards, they had a great game shooting-wise, 57% from the field. 51% from the three-point line. They hit 17 threes. A lot of that was Kuz as well. 86% from the free throw line. 44 boards to 37. So they out-rebounded the Blazers as well. 28 assists. Ball movement was on a string. The only downfall, like I said, tonight was really the turnovers with 16. And they had 46 points in the paint. Their largest lead was 25. They never trailed in the game the whole time. The Blazers never led tonight at all. So my player of the game tonight, I got Kuz. My defensive player of the game, I got DeLon Wright with some timely steals. There was one steal that he had in the first half. I think it was like an inbound steal that he had that led to a basket. He's just so pesky and clever. I want to give a shout out to Taj Gibson, too. I thought he came in and gave some good minutes off the bench. He only played 11 minutes, but he had 6 points. Corey Kispert, just to touch on him, he had 5 points. He did hit a three, and he got to the basket one time. His defense is he has to improve on the defensive side of the ball. That's not his calling card. He'll probably never be a shutdown defender. That's not what he was really drafted to be. He was drafted to come in and shoot threes. He was dubbed. Consensus said, he was the best shooter in the draft, which he was a heck of a shooter. Gonzaga, which is true. And I think he's been a solid 3-point shooter, but there are times where it's tough to put him out there. I think it was one play where Trendon Watford just got to the basket very easily on Corey Kispert. And then last night, too, Corey Kispert got in foul trouble against the Warriors because, it's just a mismatch. And so you can see some teams, they target him and they try to go at him and score on him. So, and then to talk about Denny too, because I know, there's a lot of Denny supporters in here watching tonight. He's going through a little slump. He had 18 minutes tonight because I know somebody's probably going to comment that later. We haven't looked at the comments yet. I know somebody talked about his minutes last night too. And I was like, he got 27 minutes last night, but tonight he got 18 minutes. And sometimes it's the flow of the game. Gafford had 15 minutes. There was a time where Porzingis had 5 fouls and Gafford had five fouls. They both had 5 fouls with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But yeah, Denny right now, it's just the flow of the game. Sometimes it's Kuz's night. Sometimes it's Porzingis' night. Sometimes it's Brad's night. You just don't know. I mean, Denny had a whole night. He had a whole stretch where he had a great week. So I just want to see consistency from him. He went 0 for 2 from the three-point line. I thought they were good looks. And when he was hot that week, he was hitting, he's knocking down from the three-point line as well and get to the basket. But I do think some of the scouting report, they've gotten used to the move where he's kind of getting to the basket. He's pushing off a little bit more. That's one thing I will say. I think defenses are getting used to some of Denny's moves that were working that week. But yeah, I would just tell him to stay the course. Stay the course. Not every night is going to be a terrible night that he had that last week where he was having 15 and 20 every game. But that's just the room for improvement that I see for Corey Kispert. And, Denny, we just need to see solid minutes from him and consistency shooting the ball on the offensive side of the ball as well.
No, I totally agree, man. I mean, like you said, both players, they are who they are. Kispert was not drafted to be a defensive-minded guy, and he's not, like you said, teams are targeting him. But his ability to cut and his three-point shot are very valuable. So, but I mean, defensive-wise, like you said, he was not drafted to be that. Now, Denny, he's in a slump right now, but I think he's going to be a lot more aggressive as the season goes on. You know, you're going to see some strides going into the second half, in my opinion, for Denny, because with the more responsibility, and more room to kind of be him. With Rui being traded, like I said, I wasn't a fan of the trade, but that the ship has sailed. But this is definitely his opportunity to kind of show what he can do, and overall he has. So I have no doubt that you're going to see a more consistent Denny going in the second half. But Kispert, where do you really play him? Do you play him at the 3 or do you play him at the 2? Because, he can't guard a lot of these threes on the wing that are faster and stronger, man. And so, that's the question when it comes to Corey Kispert is where do you replay him? Because, I play him at the 2 guard, but then you find yourself in a conundrum because how many guards you got, So, and that was another reason why I thought we should have added another scorer at the deadline. But again, that ship has sailed. But overall, man, overall, the solid 3 is fun to watch, man. I like what I see. I like the product, man. It's just the same issues, consistency, health, not lapsing, turnovers, they need to stem the turnovers. Then that continues to be an issue this season. And, defense has tightened up, but, I like what I see. But, like I said before, man, before I can really put my stamp of approval on this core going forward for coming season, especially if they stay here long term, is that I want to see some progress as far as really drive for a 6 seed. Because I'm not one of these guys that really want to see my team to play in. I hate that. It's like the NIT. I hate the NIT, man. I want to see my team in the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? So to really solidify and get a lot of these fans and get this fan base really rocking, man, I want to see a 6 seed, man. And that's just my opinion. But
yeah, definitely shooting for that the 6 seed is a good goal to shoot for. They're 27-30 right now, so they're at 57 games. So 82 minus 57. I'm not good at math, so that's like 25 games left. So looking at the standings, we'll probably look at that more tomorrow too. They are right now. They're the 10th seed, really tied with the Raptors for the 9th. Right now, they're 27-30. They're both 1.5 games behind the 8th seed. The Knicks are playing good ball right now. They're 32-27. Miami's 32-26. So that's 2 really good Eastern Conference teams that you got to catch up to. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get to that 6th seed, but it's something that they should definitely shoot for. And right now, the Sixers are the 3rd seed, so it would be a tough matchup in the first round. But the Sixers, they're known to disappoint. They're known to disappoint in the playoffs. So who knows? But yeah, we're gonna get to some comments here. But first, we're gonna get a quick word from Brandon.
yes, sir. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Built Bar. Looking for a delicious treat, but don't want all that fat and calories? Then you got to try a Built Bar. We just got through the holidays, and I know my goal is to eat a little healthier this year. If you're like me and you want to eat a little healthier, but you don't want to compromise taste, then man, I got the thing for you. You got to try Built Bar. With Built, healthy is actually tasty. Seriously, they're so delicious you only think they're good for you. Perfect for your New Year's resolution. What makes Built Bar so good? Well, for starters, they're covered in 100% real chocolate. That's right, real chocolate. And they come in unbelievable flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, and coconut almond. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar while maintaining amazing macros. And what's even better is that they're healthy. Only 130 calories and 4 grams of sugar with a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't need to wait around to get a box. For years, we've been talking about ordering your Built bars at Built.com. Now you can get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. That's right. Head to the nearest Walmart today, walk to the pharmacy section and grab yourself a box of Built bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. And if you're close to Sam's Club, run in and grab a 13-bar box with a hit flavors, brownie batter, and churro. You can thank me later. Built Bar. So let's rock into some of these comments. Definitely appreciate everybody staying up late with us, chopping it up. So let's get right into it. Chimp said, great dub tonight. Absolutely. Big J, sup? Definitely liking what I'm seeing overall. They need time and games to play together, including West. Really like 90 solid to hold on next couple seasons. I agree with you, man. I like what I see overall. I like the product right now. Yeah, and they're definitely gonna get a lot more games. But I mean, like you said, look, second half of the year, man, they really got to work on this chemistry quick because not so many games left. But I mean, the reason I'm optimistic is look at the schedule. We have one of the easier schedules going forward. So I think consistency and then the schedule is definitely going to help.
Yeah, so they need time and games to play together, including West. Really like none, and that's basically what Tommy Shepard said. I know there's a lot of things in some interviews that he said and some pressures that that people may disagree with, but I think a big reason why he didn't make any trades was because of chemistry, and that's one thing that I may agree with. DeLon Wright just won the Defensive Player of the Game belt. If anybody's caring about that, but yeah, it makes sense, and we haven't seen this big three play together a lot. I know they have a losing record when they do play together. I got to look it up, but right now, or solid three. I keep getting caught saying the big three, but when the solid three does play together, recently they've looked really good. Kuz has played really well. Porzingis has played really well, and Brad is looking healthy. Brad's been healthy. Knock on wood, he's been healthy the past couple of games. He looks like he's getting in stride. And you look at his numbers; he's shooting the ball really well, man. He's starting to knock down a three ball. He's getting to the basket. Bradley Beal, he's playing at an efficient level. The game the other day where we won, he had a very efficient game. So Nunn has been a good addition. I didn't like that trade to be at the start with Nunn, but Nunn has really came in. He's been one of our better scorers off the bench. Will Barton right now, he's still negotiating a buyout right now, so they're still trying to get that done. But Nunn has come in and stepped in, and he's been a good facilitator. He's been we need athleticism. He's brought athleticism to the team and just quickness to the team. He's brought that on as well. So I'm impressed with Nunn. I was impressed with the solid three tonight.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm with you. Oh, and I didn't even do my player of the game and defensive belt, but I can go ahead and deal with that right now, man. Same as yours. I mean, Kuz, player of the game, and then DeLon, man, 4 steals. So I forgot, man, but it's pretty easy because it's just like yours, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my stamp of approval.
Yeah, we'll read probably one or two and then wrap it up because we're gonna do a quick episode tomorrow on a preview. There was one stat where it said 14 players scored tonight. Yeah, that is incredible. That is incredible. Yeah. Doron Daniel said actually game 14 players scored points tonight. Yeah, Quentin Jackson came in and scored. Johnny Davis came in and scored. They both hit 3-pointers, so I'm happy for Johnny Davis to get some confidence there. Quentin Jackson scores in back-to-back games. Let's see here. Fabulous Results says they won 9 of their last 13, so we're making progress. Yeah, they won a good amount of games. They did go on that streak of winning games. And then the Pistons game got postponed and they lost 3 games in a row. So but yeah, they look really solid the last couple of games. They look really, really solid. We'll probably read this one and then wrap it up. Pod name Kickback, he says, I thought y'all were on dates. Pleasant surprise, my guys. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. I know it's already passed. It's the day after now, but he said, I wanted this revenge win by at least 20. I'm happy Kuz back. I say, get him Kuz. He says, I got him. Yeah, man, I was talking about that last night, man. We need to look in the mirror and have a gut check because we were up 20 points against this team. And that was an embarrassing loss at home. You let the Blazers come into your house. You were up by 20, and they basically dominated you in the third and fourth quarter. So this was a gut check game for the Wizards.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to get smacked in your own house.
All right, but we'll respond to this. Chimp says Danny doesn't play well against decent teams. It's becoming a pattern. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow. LBJ DeDon, he said they earned the Big Three moniker tonight. We'll probably discuss that a little bit more tomorrow.
Not yet. All right, but they're getting there. They've been. Oh, my bad, man.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I mean they're close, man, but not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, and Biggie Steve says, "I hope we do better against such." I thought they did a good job of stepping up on Dame, trapping him after half court. I thought West made a good adjustment there. They did that in the first half. I thought that did help them jump out to a lead. So I was impressed with West on that.
Yeah, me too, man. But I mean, it's tough to contain Dame, man.
It is.
You see that 3? I mean, that 1 3-point shot he made with who was guarding him? Denny. I mean, that was some good defense, and he's still knocking him down, man. He's a generational talent, man. His 3-point shot is just. But nah, man. Before we roll, man. Overall, this is a beautiful win, especially as a revenge game. So, but I mean, going forward, I want to see consistency, and I really want to see momentum going into the second half because I think Minnesota again is a winnable game. So I try to go into the All-Star game with some momentum. But you got anything else, man?
No, that's it. We'll just enjoy this dub. Thank goodness there's no more 10 o'clock games tomorrow. On Thursday night, they play at 8, so I'm happy about that. We just want to thank you guys for listening to Making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now check out Game to Game. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA. Available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Hell to the Wizards. The Wizards get the dub. Peace.